Savage Cut. Real talk, no filter on Savaged Unfiltered. Savaged.
Hey guys, welcome to Savaged Unfiltered Show. I'm your host, Savage here. Wow, guys. Where to start? This has been an amazing journey here for myself. Just basically giving out information, news, all that stuff, guys. Been doing it for about maybe, 5 years, just about 6 years, right, Producer Shaky? Yeah, about 5-6 years. No stranger to the radio industry, guys. I started out with terrestrial radio up in New York City about 20 years ago. So liked what I was doing up there, but I wanted to branch out my voice, guys, and bring it to a higher horizon, right? A higher reach. And I think that's why a lot of us have gone into the podcasting industry from old talk radio. I think you get a higher reach with podcasting. That's just my opinion. I think others can agree with me in the same industry. But guys, before we start, I always like to get in people, companies that give us like great views and reviews, and they sponsor the crap out of this show, really. I want to say thank you very much to some amazing companies. First, I want to say thank you to Blackout Coffee. It's literally the coffee for America's warriors. If you use this promo code today, guys, Savaged, you're going to get 15% off your order. That's right, guys. A little gift from the show here to you, the listener. Scan this QR code today. It's on iPhone and Android devices, and you're going to get all great savings as an exclusive deal from us to you. Really fresh coffee, guys. You're not going to get the oily residue. You're not going to get the jitter crash after you would normally drink regular coffee. This coffee is available in Keurig cups as well as the regular grind in the bag. So you have a lot of options. Check them out today at blackoutcoffee.com. Back to the show, guys. I have a gentleman here that has been checking out the show. He has been showing some appreciation to some of our live streams here on X and some of our generalized content here. So I do want to say thank you for the support. I want to say thank you for him coming on the show, which we're going to bring up momentarily. But he wants to talk about an issue, a couple issues actually. I noticed that he had sent us an image here to our X account regarding 9/11 and the moon. I want to get some of his views on this because I find it a little fascinating on the content and the material that he presented to us on the show. I'm always fascinated with people with their views and thoughts towards some of these issues to this day in America that we still remember, with 9/11, with the moon landings in the 60s and 70s through NASA, now transitioned into SpaceX. But without further ado, I want to introduce him to the world here. This is Ryan. Welcome to the show, Ryan. How you doing, buddy?
Thank you so much. I'm good. How are you? Thank you for
I'm doing fine.
Thank you for having me, and
thank you for being part of the show.
Yes. And I'm gonna say something you may edit.
Ryan.
Yes, I'm gonna say something you may edit it if you want, but I usually urge people to avoid caffeine in general. Caffeine, including, of course, coffee and tea, because the caffeine is very dangerous to the human health, and that's it. Yes, if you advertising.
I was going to say, Ryan.
Yes.
Yeah, 1 second. I know there's a delay because of where you reside and everything. But I was going to say, you may say that, but most Americans here in the United States, we love our coffee. But I do appreciate your feedback. I really do.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, let's.
So
Yes.
so you have a comment here on the show with the 9/11, right? And the moon landings from the 60s and 70s. Let's start with 9/11.
Yes. First of all,
There was a comment.
yes.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yes. First of all, 9/11 is a major crime. It's forbidden. It's a crime. It's considered as a crime, a big crime in Islam, because it's forbidden in Islam to attack innocent people, even if they are not Muslims. And this is clear in the verse number in the Holy Quran 2, verse number 190. 190. And but the 9/11 was maybe the most famous news worldwide in current times. Maybe yes, maybe each human on the planet knew about this news. It was very famous. Everybody knew about it. So therefore, no wonder if the Holy Quran pointed out this incident, this news, to this news for 1,400 years. It's not an endorsement of this crime. No, it is only a miracle from God, because this is known to all people. 9/11 is known to all people. Therefore, it's good for all people to know that God knows about this. 1,400 years knew about this. This is a proof for God. This is a proof that Islam is the truth, and the Holy Quran is the word of God, because it's impossible for any creature to know about this will happen for the 1,400 before for 1,400 years. How did the Holy Quran pointed out to this? It's very clear in the image I have sent to you. If you want to show it, or I will read it as you like. Would you like me to read it? Read the part about the
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because the image that you sent us here on the show, you got into numbers here, and I noticed there was one thing that kind of stuck out that kind of caught my attention, sir, where it says the U.S. government says that the attacks were launched by 19 men, which is accurate, and the numbers here are 11, 9, 2. And 110 and 19. Now, what are those numbers in reference to?
Yes,
Ryan.
Yes, if you pick a copy of a paper copy of the Holy Quran, and you go to part 11, because the Holy Quran is 30 parts, equal parts. Each part is about 20 pages in Arabic, but in English translations it's different number of pages, of course. If you go to part number 11, then you will find this part. You will find surah, which is a chapter of the Quran is called surah. So surah number 9. It is with part number 11. Are together. You will find in this place, which is surah number 9, part number 11, chapter number 9. You will find the verse number 110, talking about contains the root of the word building 2 times. So when you finish this verse number 110, you will find the remaining, the rest of the verses in this surah, this chapter, are 19 verses. So to complete this chapter, you have to read more 19 verses, then you complete this chapter. So the numbers, as you hear now, and as you see, of course, in the image, are the same numbers of the event, the crime of 9/11, because 9 is the number of the month September, and 11 is the number of the day, and The two buildings. Most of the news were concentrating on the two buildings, the two towers, the twin towers, and they were 110. They were 110 stories tall, of course, and the men who launched that crime were 19. They were planning to be 20, but one of them missed the plane. Then only 19 got in the planes, and they did the crime. This is, of course, yes. This is, of course, despite the controversial or the about whether it is an inside job or not. I don't know. This is God knows. Only God knows who did it. Yani.
Right. You mentioned something about 9 and 11. Now, in the United States, we have three numerals. 911, folks. Now, for emergency purposes, if something were to happen and you obviously needed to contact your local authorities or your first responders and that, you would dial 911, right? And you would get a live operator that would state, what's your emergency, sir or ma'am, and they would go from there. Now, these hijackers, Ryan, that orchestrated this attack, did they choose those numerals on purpose? 911, which was also stated as 9/11. Did they do that on purpose to orchestrate the whole 9/11 emergency from that, or was that just a coincidence?
I don't know, and I didn't think so. And they were even planning to be 20, not 19, but one of them missed the plane. I don't know. I don't think they were planning about anything regarding this image. I don't think they noticed the two verses about the two building, the route of the two buildings, etc. And I don't think they planned about 9/11 because it's the number of the emergency or the police, etc. I don't think so. Maybe yes, maybe not, but I don't think so.
Well, this wasn't the first. This wasn't the first attack on American soil. They have tried to attack the Twin Towers in New York City once before, and they failed. Actually, they also tried to attack other buildings, and they failed. So this was an attempted attack, and they actually succeeded in the early 2000s and 2001. But you mentioned a lot of biblical. Go ahead, sir.
I want to add something that is not in the image. Someday one person said to me, but the 9/11 attacked 8 buildings, not only 2 towers, twin towers. I said yes, but that twin towers were the most famous in the news, and they were the most important to buildings because they were destroyed completely, and they were huge. But I told him something interesting. I said, let's see the verses. The verse number 109 also contains the root of the word building 2 times. So we have now 2 verses besides each other, which is 109, 110. Each one of them has the root of the building. My cat is making me busy now. Anyway, yes. The two verses, each one has the root of the word building 2 times. So we have now 4 times in 2 verses, and when we make 4 to 2, the result is 8. I don't know how to say it in English, maybe. But you know in mathematics, let me say,
right.
Try translate. Yes, In mathematics, when you put 4 in how you say it? I don't know.
I see what you're saying. You're coming up with some really valuable points, guys. On today's show, you're hearing a gentleman that goes by the name of Ryan, and we're getting into some really, really factual stuff here about 9/11, September 11th attacks in 2001 that happened up in New York City all those years ago, and some of the stuff you're hearing, guys, to some of the listeners out here, some of this stuff has never been spoken about, and I really appreciate some of your knowledge towards this, Ryan. I really do. But I want to change the gear here a little bit and go into something that you also brought up, which I found very fascinating.
But I wanna end the previous one with the last sentence. I wanted to say multiply by 4. Multiply 4 by 2. The result is 8. So yes, even this way, we can say that the Holy Quran pointed out to the 8 buildings, because the two verses who are besides each other, 109 and 110, contains the root of the word building 4 times. And when we multiply 4 by 2, the result is 8. Yes. Now, do you mean?
Yeah,
do you want to go to the moon?
Yeah. Yes. Before we depart off, Ryan, folks, I some of my listeners, Ryan, I do want to express this, because you're coming up with some mathematics, and it does make sense. Some of it is biblical, some of it is factual information, where you actually have a picture, guys. If you go over to his not his website, but his Twitter page, his X account, he actually posted this picture where it says, and 310 divided by 36 equals 8.611. Exactly. So basically what I'm trying to say is, so that's like the 36th word in Quran 53:9, which is the Arabic word, which means 2 bows. So what does the word 2 bows have to do with the serious modern scientific facts? Ryan, I want to get into that with you, buddy. What is that? Where's this back mathematics mean? Because I noticed that it said, note that the Sirius B wasn't even discovered until 31 of January of 1862, which was the glory of the Almighty God. Is that linked to some of the moon landings in the 60s and 70s, sir? Or what's your thoughts on that?
Are you talking about the second image?
Yeah.
Not the first one?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm talking about the image that you posted where it says Sirius A, and then there's an image between Sirius A orbit and then Sirius B orbit.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, the image, yes, the image. Okay, this is as you see it in the image. If you wanna show the images on your screen, it's okay.
Right.
But I have said in this image, and if you divide 310, this is 310 is the total of the number of words in this chapter. This chapter, which is chapter number 83, 53 in the Holy Quran, it contains 310 words. If you divide it on the number 36, which is the number of the word 2 bows, okay.
Right.
In Arabic, 2 bows are 1 word. The result is 8.611. And this is between Sirius and Air. And this is very amazing.
Huh. You know, Ryan, do you think a lot of your information that you're saying here on the show, sir? A lot of this is, I mean, almost sounds biblical. it almost sounds like it was already, predetermined to happen. Whether you believe in God, folks, or you believe in spiritual messages, it almost is linked towards a spiritual message. Like these things happened on purpose because it came from the Word of God. With the moon landings, the 9/11 attacks. Is there more events in the future that you know of or that you could speak of that may come into our existence that is, that's biblical, that has prophets behind them at all, Ryan? Or
Well, I think the Holy Quran, generally, it's difficult to discover its prophecies until it happens. Why? Let's take an example about Apollo 11. Let's suppose the Holy Quran, the prophecy in the Holy Quran was clear about 9/11, the Apollo 11, and so maybe NASA will know. The Holy Quran is saying that Apollo 11 or the first human landing will be on the 20th of July. So maybe NASA will change their mind and pick up another date. So it's difficult yes.
Yeah, we can never tell because NASA has evolved into what we call it SpaceX now, and they have some of the fascinating forms of technology that I've seen, through the space launches and stuff like that on TV and through social media. Some of the most modern forms of technology through space exploration. Really, folks, if you want to say something, I'm going to say something here on the show. I think a lot of us here in the world are living through very, very interesting times through a lot of modern technology when it comes to space. But Ryan, I do want to thank you for coming on, sir. I really want to show my appreciation and support to some of your research and some of your information that you stated on the show. And thank you very much for following us as well too here. Again, guys, you heard a gentleman here, Ryan, here on the show, for expressing a lot behind the 9/11 attacks and some of the moon landings in the 60s and 70s with the Apollo missions and stuff. Ryan, thank you very much, buddy. Before I depart with you, if they want to know more information about this, I know you're on X. Is there any other websites that I can plug in here so some of the people, some of my listeners can find out a little bit more about you, sir?
Well, there is a link in my bio, so you only tell them about my username on X, and they can find my username, and they will see the bio, and will see the link, which is a movie I wrote. But this movie is not an ordinary movie. It is full of miracles and scientific evidence and the proofs, and it's a very interesting one, and I hope everybody will find it interesting too. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Take it easy, buddy, and God bless you, sir.
You too.
Alrighty. Guys, you just heard a gentleman that goes by the name of Ryan here on the show. Fascinating individual. You can check him out on Twitter at Ryan WY42. If you forgot what I just said, guys, don't worry. We will put in the show notes for you guys to check him out. He's got a lot of fascinating stuff that he's coming up with. We've been communicating back and forth through X with a couple of his posting that he has there. He also has a link that you just heard here on the show. The program here about a movie that he had created, which is actually 100% free inside his link, which we will also put in the show notes here on our audio end, including our Rumble feed with justpaste.it/ZY. Again, folks, if you missed it, I will put it in the show notes for your viewing pleasures and leisures. It is called justpaste.it/ZY. Again, guys, thank you very much for dropping by here on the show, Savaged Unfiltered. And as always, guys, if you want to know anything more about the show, I highly suggest some of my listeners and new listeners to check out our website, upper left-hand corner, if you're viewing us on video here, whether it's the Spotify app or Rumble, including X here. Scan this QR code, www.savagedunfiltered.com. All of our content, including our material, can be found there, guys. Thanks very much for dropping by. I'm Savage, and like I always say, guys, till next time, be savage, not average. Take it easy, guys.